Hey, it's that time of season where we do a lot of time in the kitchen. Yep, I'm doing another episode of Dude in the Kitchen. I'm going to make homemade, freshly harvested ingredients from my garden. Spaghetti sauce. This is my first time ever, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is the Dude in the Kitchen episode. And I've transitioned to vegetables, produce from the garden today. I've got a bunch of tomatoes I need to render down, and we're going to make homemade spaghetti sauce. I have never done this before, but I did find a variations of ingredients that I could put into my version of a Pine Meadows Hobby Farms Homestead spaghetti sauce. I went out to the garden this morning. I collected some fresh herbs. I got basil. I got I got thyme right here. I got an garlic, cloves that I'll be using the whole thing. I've got tomatoes that I harvested the other day. They're ready to go. And then I have an onion I got out of my own garden. I have honey I rendered from my own beehives. I've got sea salt here, fresh ground black pepper. I've got olive oil. And then, yeah, we've got the rind of a Parmesan that I got from a famous cheese factory. So I'm going to be making the sauce. I want to the caramelize onions and garlic first, and some herbs in my pan on the with olive oil, yes, and the other herbs. We're going to get that done first, and then we'll process the tomatoes. Processing the garlic first. And now the onion. I love onions. This is out of my garden, so I know where my food came from. Olive oil goes in the pan. Onions and garlic. I like big chunky onions. I like chunky vegetables in my sauce. Chop up my herbs. Turn this heat down. I'm going to wash my tomatoes. Cooking the onions until they're translucent. Yep. Yeah, turn my heat down. And then remove it from the heat. Okay, I changed my mind on how I'm going to process this. I'm actually going to be putting it in a food processor. I picked this thing up for 20 bucks from Goodwill. And here we go. And here's the skins I can actually add to the sauce. I just wanted to separate them and make sure I had it rendered down really good. So let's get these in the pot and start the process. Okay, I'm going to turn this on low first. Looks like tomato soup. In fact, that again inspires me to want to make tomato soup. Something else I can do with my tomatoes. Well, that's coming to the boil. Clean that up. And add the pulp. Now mind you, all that's in here right now is just tomatoes. And it looks just like tomato soup. I love tomato soup. Okay, add in my thyme and my basil. What's an Italian seasoning without basil, huh? And it just so happens I found bay leaf. I'm going to add 2 bay leaves to this. Add 1/3 cup of olive oil. Then incorporate my garlic and onions with olive oil. And my Parmesan rind, the hard part of the Parmesan. So far we got in here is tomatoes. We've got diced onions, a cup of diced onions. We've got 5 garlic minced cloves. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of honey. One teaspoon of sea salt. And top it off with fresh ground pepper. That's about the consistency of, or the look of spaghetti sauce that I like. Yep, right there. So I'm going to turn the heat down and let it simmer. Stir and simmer uncovered until it thickens. As you lose more volume of water, you're going to need to stir it more frequently so it doesn't burn. Okay, following the USDA guidelines for canning, I'll leave a link to this book from Amazon. Although considered a fruit, tomatoes have a pH value close to 4.6. Therefore, you should typically process them in a pressure canner. I have a pressure canner right here, but this is a duo. It does both canning and cooking. I have a valve that gives me the equivalent of 2 different weights. I cook it at my altitude on 2 so I can have the appropriate weight for pressure, because I need the pressure of the steam in the jars, in the food, to get up to 240 degrees Fahrenheit. You cannot reach that in a water bath canner. You must pressure canning. So canning is like working in a laboratory. It's a science. You got to really know what you're doing. You can't just jump into it blind. Study up on what can be canned. Watch your food acidity. What can be canned in simple water bath canners are high acid, like fruits, high in sugar, that's an acid, or high in salt, pickles. High in sodium and also vinegar. Those are preservatives. Everything else, meats and other things they should be, for safety, canned in a water bath canner. Canned in a pressure canner. Now I'm sterilizing my jars while this is simmering. I also have my rings and lids back there ready to go. I got my basic canning equipment, a jar lifter, so you don't have to touch those jars with your bare hands. They are hot. My funnel for dispensing and ladling the contents into the jars. A jar lid lifter that's a little magnet on the end. I can get my lids placed on the jars without burning myself. And a little spatula to go down into the content in your product to release all the air bubbles. It's also important to note that my cutting board is what I use as a surface to park the hot jars on. You don't want a hot jar on a cold surface. They'll break. Even a kitchen towel folded up in your counter is suitable enough. In addition to the pressure canner that I have, I'm going to leave a link down below so you guys can purchase one from Amazon. I'm also going to leave a link for the USDA Complete Guide to Home Canning so you can can safely. And then also my canner came with a book. And so this lets me know everything about pressure canning with this canner and this cooker. Yeah, it's a canner and a cooker. So for canning at my elevation, right here where the house sets, we're at 1,800 feet. My backyard is a mountain. That's 2,000 feet up there. But we're concerned with 1,800 feet. Anywhere between 0, which is sea level, and 2,000 feet, they require 14 pounds of pressure for 20 minutes for pint jars, 25 minutes for quart jars. So refer to, and you can find the information online too. You don't necessarily need to order a book. In fact, this book, you can download it PDF form for free from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. You don't have to buy it. They have it in paperback form. I like hardback. I'll also leave a link down below for all your canning. There's a canning kit. You can get everything in it. So if you guys are new canners and just starting out, buying even a big water bath canner with a rack in the bottom of it, yeah, go for it. Looks like my jars are ready. I need to get one more jar sterilized because I think I have almost 5 pints. Yeah, almost. This is hot pack canning because we cook the product. There is also a cold pack canning. I got one more jar. I want to cook in there and get it sanitized just in case I have more product that I think I only need 4. I'll go ahead and turn the heat off. And start decanting this. One-inch headspace is what they recommend. 1 inch. Now mind you, this is the very first time I've made spaghetti sauce. I've made salsa. But I'm growing zucchini, so I'm gonna render my zucchinis down into zoodles. I do have a zoodle maker for my appliance I have, and then I'm gonna render those down. Ooh, I got too much in there. I just have a little bit of sauce left in here, not much. So I don't need this other jar. I'm going to go ahead and take it out. And for a pressure canner, you only need 2 inches of water in there. So I'm going to pour a lot of this water out. Turn the heat off of that. So now I'm just going to release the air bubbles. I doubt that there's any in there, but never again. I need to take some out of this. I got to go get a spoon. One moment, folks. That is just too dangerous to have it that full. Ooh, that tastes better than ragu. Now with a wet paper towel, I'm going to wipe the rims to make sure there's no debris on it. I really fouled up this rim. Make sure that's all nice and also at the same time kind of feel the rims to make sure they're not cracked. You can usually feel a crack with your fingers. I'm going to place some lids on here. Ouch, 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 ouch. Ow. Okay. All right. Put the rings on. Just to the finger resistance. That's it. I am excited. First time ever. Gosh, that's hot. Okay. Now these go in the pressure canner. Two inches of water inside. Now pressure canners, you do not fill it up all the way over to the top of the jars like you do water bath canners. You don't need to. See, I got my water level right there. Set this special lid in place. Make sure my seal is seated properly. There's a mark right here that you line up with this mark on the handle. Lock it down. This is a lock. Now you can't open the lid because it locks. And then when we build up steam in there, that pops up and that locks this where you can't unlock this to take the lid off. So there's a lot of safety features in this. Oh, my wife and I are ready for new appliances. I'm going to put this on high and wait till it steams. Then we're going to let it set for 10 minutes steaming to get all the air pressure out. Then we'll turn it over. And once that starts steaming, then we'll count 20 minutes. Yeah, it tastes better than the store-bought stuff. No preservatives, and I know exactly where it came from. My garden. From farm to spoon. This is good. Musty. Must have more. So this little button, when that pops up, that's my indicator on when to start counting the 10 minutes before I put this pressure on and start the processing of 20 minutes. So there it goes. It just popped up. So now I wait 10 minutes before I start doing my Countdown. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. I removed from heat. I just turn the heat off and let it naturally vent. Once that's done, then I'll open it up to the other one and let it naturally vent. Now we're venting the rest of the steam out, and then we wait for that button to drop so we can unlock it and open it. At this point I smell trouble, that's right. In the steam coming out I actually smell the product, which means one of two things. Some siphoning occurred, which happens from time to time. It doesn't mean your product's bad, but you just need to make sure that it gets a seal once you cool it down. And worst case scenario is one of the jars broke. I've had that happen to me before. So that button's about ready to go down, and we'll open it up and check. Okay. Unlock it, twist the lid, and see what the damage is. Oh, the jars are intact. Nope, just appears to be just a little bit of siphoning. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the jars so they'll cool on this surface, and then I'll just let them set for 24 hours. Yeah, this jar siphoned, I could tell. This one's fine. It's still full of fluid. This one also is fine. And finally, this one's fine. So you can tell some of the fluid had siphoned out. That's okay as long as there's over half the jar is full of fluid. That should be okay. We're just going to wait for these to cool down and create a seal. And if a seal isn't attained or obtained by your canning process, but the jar's intact, that's okay. If you don't get a seal, it's okay because it's fresh. It just means you're going to have spaghetti tonight. Yep. So another adventure achieved here on the homestead, making spaghetti sauce for the first time ever. And it tastes really good. Remember earlier I did taste test. Anyway, that's it on this episode. Check out the links below and go shopping if you guys are lacking anything. And stay tuned to more videos. You could do that by subscribing, clicking that bell icon that alerts you to new videos as I upload them. Give us a thumbs up, share my videos on your social media platforms, helps us out. Remember, be safe, always be kind, and come on back because I'm going to do a dude in the kitchen. I'm going to make fresh zoodles with some heart meat I just processed. Yes, beef heart. Spaghetti. Yum. Bye-bye.